Hey guys, welcome back to my video game pickups. Hope you guys enjoyed the last video. I know it was a really long one. I do apologize for that, but it was pretty cool how much stuff I had. I don't have quite a bit of stuff this time, but I still do have some really good stuff, so let's get started with it. Alright, first off here, this was done about 2 weeks ago, I believe, so kind of around the time when the recent episode was uploaded. I went to my local ARC thrift store and local Goodwill, and there's another part to this pickup day that I'll show you at the end of the video, which is really helpful to me and my collection and everything, so I'll show you that in a little bit. But for now, I'll just show you the basic stuff here. First thing here I will show you is from ARC, my local ARC thrift store, and it's just a basic black PS2 controller. It is Sony brand, and actually, this came from Goodwill. Yeah, this came from Goodwill, and this was marked at $4, and it was half off day, which they only have one, I think they have it the third Saturday of every month. So I happened to go in there, and I found this, so it was $2. So that was really cool. Next along with that, I also got, I finally have one, and it is the original Game Boy Advance, and this is the glacier colored one. And it does have the battery pack, or the battery cover on the back. And this was marked at $8.99, which is a really good deal already, which I was more than willing to pay for that at that price. But I found out it was half off, so it became like $4.50 or whatever. So the total was like $6.93 with the PS2 controller. So really good deal. I'm really glad to have one of these now. I have all the Game Boy handhelds except for like DS and 3DS and all those, but I have all the, Game Boy Advances and Game Boy Colors, and well, I at least have one for each of those. So that is really cool. I'm glad to have found that. It's in really nice shape too. Alright, next are two things I got from my local ARC thrift store. Now it's from ARC. Before, the stuff I just showed you was from Goodwill. So now this is from ARC. The first one here is it's nothing special, really. I mean, it's just the case. I mean, the game was either taken at the store or it just never had it in there to begin with. I asked the people at the front counter if they had these somewhere else, because this was just laying out. And I asked them, and they said they usually don't check them when they put them out for sale. They just kind of assume there's something in there, and they just put it out for sale. So they were going to throw this away. And I asked them if I could just have it, and they said that's fine. So I got this free case. It's Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, and you never know, it might come handy for another game that I might need, or I might find just a disc only Mario Golf and sell it off or something. So I thought that was really cool. They gave it to me, and for $1 I got a AV cable for Sony PS1, PS2. They're universal for all the consoles by Sony, so that was cool, $1. I always need to get those just in case I need extras for extra consoles, or I sell them off or whatever. So next here, this is cool, just really quick. Since last Sunday was Easter Sunday, my parents know I like games and everything, of course. So just for a little, cool, funny joke, they got me this little Pac-Man arcade cabinet thing. It was a candy dispenser thing. Kind of had to open the bottom to get the candy out, but I decided to keep the tin can here, and it's really cool. It looks just like the arcade machine for Pac-Man, which is really cool. So I'm going to be putting it up with the little knickknacks and stuff, like the Mario candy dispenser and everything like that. So that is really cool. That was pretty funny when they got me that. They got that from Games Ahoy, I believe. So yeah, they saw it and they're like, "Yep, probably getting that for him." So that was cool. Next here, I will show you this huge box here. This was done on the weekend that I uploaded the last video. Alright, and this whole box was done in one day. And it's really insane because I went to 6 new places with my brother. My brother went with me. We went to 6 new places that we hadn't been to yet. And these were all in the city of Greeley, which is, not too far away from me, so it's pretty easy distance travel-wise. But we went to a different ARC thrift store. We went to a family-owned pawn shop. which didn't have much at all. But then we also went to a flea market, a thrift store, and 2 more pawn shops. So I will, I don't know if they're going to be in order or not, but I will try to show you what I did according to what I have here. So first off, this is just something basic. I went to my Walmart. It's about 5 minutes away from my house, and I decided to pick this up. I found it in the hats clothing section, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I decided to get it. It's a I kind of have one already like this, but mine is more detailed, I guess. But this one is cool too. It's just the 1-up mushroom with the green brim here. So I thought it was pretty cool. It was $10, so not too bad, I guess, for a hat, and it's really cool. So I thought that was cool to find at Walmart. Alright, next, really quick here, I already had this game. I didn't own it, but I didn't realize I didn't have it until I was looking through my for sale stuff that I was going to put on eBay. And I realized I didn't have this game, so I decided to just take it out of the for sale pile and put it in my collection, and that is Bass Hunter 64 for the Nintendo 64. And it's a little rough on the back, but nothing too major. I mean, it's not a high-dollar game or anything like that, so... But, I mean, I didn't realize I didn't have it, so I now have it, so that's cool. Alright. Next here, I will show you what I got from the Ark in Greeley. This is pretty cool. These were really cheap, which is really cool. First here, I have a Nintendo RF Switch, and it is, it came with this extra TV cable connector. It's kind of hard to see, but it came as a bonus, I guess. It was hooked up to it already, so it was half off day because Ark has 50% off every Saturday, so it's always the best time to go and look for stuff, so that's cool. This was $1.50. It was normally marked $2.99. I got it for $1.50, and this is just the first part. And the other one here is a Nintendo GameCube power brick. And they had it. They had a sticker that said Nintendo GameCube, and I knew that was incorrect because, you know, it's gray, and the brick for the GameCube is a little bit smaller but more fat. But I mean, this one was marked at $3 as well, but it was half off, so it was $1.50. So I ended up spending a total of $3, and these normally go for like $10, $12 online. So to get this, and I already have an AV cable, so if I ever get a Wii console just by itself, I can always package it with the 2 cables, and then maybe find a controller, and I could always sell that off. So really cool to find these 2 cords at the Ark thrift store over there in Greeley. All right, next here, this is they're kind of scattered in here, so I do need to go through some of it still. But first here, or actually this one right here. This is actually done at the Mr. Money pawn shop that's right here, close to my house. So I forgot to mention it before I was talking about the Greeley places, but I have a Nintendo Wii wheel here in the box, and it is incomplete, unfortunately. It's just the wheel in here, but it was $5, and I mean, that's pretty cool for a boxed accessory for the Wii. I'll probably end up finding a manual or something for it eventually. But what was packaged with it was the original, or the Wii console manual, which I thought was odd because I didn't realize it until I got home and I found out it was just the console manual. And it also came with Wii Sports manual. So I guess these are okay. They're, I mean, if I ever need them for something, I'll have them ready to go. So that's pretty cool to just have these manuals. And I mean, it would have been cool to have the Wii wheel manual as well, but I mean, that's alright. I'll find one eventually. Next here, I will show you... This is kind of difficult because they're all stacked in here weird, but really quick, I will show you this. I can do this probably. Let me do this. Alright. These are from a pawn shop called Easy Pawn, and this was the last stop of the day, and I decided to get these 3 items here. I'll show you what I saw first and whatever. But first one here is a blue PS1 controller. And this is really cool because I only have one of these, I believe. And it's in really good condition. It's like brand new, pretty much. Hardly been used. So it was really cool to find this. And so I decided to pick that up. Next here is a Platinum Silver GameCube controller. And it's okay. It's a little scratched and everything, but that happens sometimes. But I always need more of these, so that is really cool. And then this last thing I'll show you here is a Super Nintendo game, and it's Tetris Attack. And this game roughly goes for about 10 bucks on eBay, I believe. I didn't realize this until I got home and I looked it up because I didn't know anything about it. But since I saw it had Tetris in the title, I figured, just a common game probably. But it's actually worth about $10, so that was really cool. The total I paid here was about $7, I believe, at this pawn shop. And that's a really good deal, especially considering since GameCube controllers are like 15 bucks. And the blue PS1 controller is probably about 10, and the game's about 10, so I saved quite a bit of money at this pawn shop. So that's really cool. Next here, I will show you this stack of NES games here that I have, and these are all from a thrift store in Greeley that it's family owned. They were actually closing. They were having an auction the day that I showed up there. This is, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a coincidence kind of thing. It was weird, but I showed up. This was the first time I'd ever been there, and I show up the day they were auctioning off everything because I think they were about ready to close. And everything was a make offer option, or you could wait and do the auction yourself with other people, or you could just make an offer on some of the stuff they had out. So I decided to make an offer on this stack of NES games, and they said that my first offer, they also had Super Nintendo games in there, and they said my offer was too low for both sets of games, so I decided to just take the NES games. I offered them $10, which they took, which is really cool, and there's a couple games here that I don't have. Most of these I do have, so I basically just got them all just because I could end up reselling them and all that. So the first one here is World Games, and I do not own this one, so I will be keeping this one. The next one is Karate Champ, and it's a 5-screw. And like I said in my previous video, I am looking for the variant 3-screw and 5-screw versions of games for the NES. And this is a variant, so I don't have this one, so that will be going in the collection as well. So those are the 2 games out of the stack that I'm keeping. The rest are going to be resold or packaged with an NES when I sell it or something. But the first one here is Super Spike V-Ball and Nintendo World Cup Double Cart. And it is pretty rough on the top. The top part of the label is completely gone. So it is getting pretty rough shape, but I already have it, so it's nothing, it's not a high dollar game or anything, so it's not too bad. This next one is everybody's favorite, it's Golf. It's not too bad of a game, but a lot of people dislike it, I think. So, I mean, it's not that, high targeted game. But, next one here is Rad Racer, which is pretty cool. The back label is pretty much gone, but I already own that one as well. The next one is Top Gun, and I looked in my sell pile, and I have like 4 of these already to sell, 4 or 5 of them, so I guess it's kind of like up there with Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt copies, which is funny. But and the last one here is NFL, and the back label is completely gone, as if it was maybe never even printed on there. So that's all the NES games I got from this thrift store, and that was the only things I got. I would have got some Super Nintendo games as well, but I was only willing to spend about 10 bucks here because I was kind of running low on funds, and I wanted to save some money for the other places because this was like our 4th stop. So I wanted to save some money for the other pawn shops, which is, I'm glad I did because I still have a bunch of stuff here. So next here I will show you my stuff that I got from the flea market. And there's a guy there that just recently put in his stall, and he's a really cool guy. I found out about this flea market because of his post on Craigslist, and he said he had a stall set up in the new flea market, and so I wanted to go check it out. So when I did, I found his stall, and right away I noticed a lot of good stuff in there. So I wanted to get it because I knew if I were to ever go back again, it would probably already be gone. So I found his phone number on Craigslist, and I texted him right on the spot, and I asked him if he would do $5 a piece for these, because he had them individually priced, and he said that would be totally fine. And I showed the cashier guy at the place the text, so you confirm everything all right, and he took it, he saw the text and everything, and he saw it was completely fine and everything, so the deal worked out pretty good. First here I'll show you is a emerald green PS2 controller. And these are all controllers I'll show you, but they were all $5 a piece, which is really cool. So this is really good condition controller. I only have 2 of these, I believe, so another one is really cool. So I'm glad I found that in there. That was the first thing I noticed in there, so that was really cool. The next thing here, I have 3 original Nintendo controllers here. They're all those just the basic square ones, and they all work just fine. And these were all marked at $8 a piece, I believe, which is a little bit overdoing it for me. I usually try to stay away from, you know, higher than 5. I try to get them for at least 5 or less, just in case they don't work or something's wrong with the buttons or whatever. But I try to stay like $5 or less for these. But really cool. 3 of these. I'm probably gonna be keeping them just because the more controllers I get, the better. I've always stated that in my videos. So just another quick basic addition here. And then the other 2 controllers here, these were marked at $10 a piece, which is a really good deal anyway, but they are 2 basic Super Nintendo controllers, Nintendo brand ones. So all of those controllers, there's 6 of them, I think. Yeah, there's 6 controllers, and I got them for $5 a piece. So that is really cool. That's pretty much it, I think, for... Nope, there's one more thing here. The last thing I got here was... This was a firm price he had on it, which is fine by me. I basically got it for the intention of resale, and that is a copy of Super Mario Bros. 3. And this was $10. I mean, I can make a few dollars on it. I mean, I try to stay away from any higher than 10 for this, just because I know if I pay more than 10, I probably won't make any money on it. So I decided to just pick it up. I asked him if he'd go any lower, and he said 10 is probably the best he can do, because I mean, I understand, he probably doesn't want to lose any money on it, and I don't blame him. So, that was those are all the things I got from his stall, so that is really cool. Oh, I forgot to show one last thing from the pawn shop with the GameCube controller, the blue PS1 controller and all that. I got one PS1 game here, and it's Asteroids. And this is included with that $7, I believe it was. I think it was $7. So 2 games and 2 controllers for $7, which is really cool. I couldn't find it in here; it's at the bottom. So, oh well. All right, this came from a pawn shop called King's Pawn, and there is a lot of games here. Well, there's one game in here that came from the flea market, so I'll just show you this really quick. This was just on a basic random table, like stuff that you wouldn't really think there would be video games, but there was a stack of DVD games. If you ever see flea markets and you see a seller that has like a stack of DVD games, or just DVDs, just take a look, because they might have games in there. I mean, Xbox games would pretty much stand out because they're, you know, usually green and stuff, but for PS2 they're just basic black, like a DVD case. So if you're ever looking around and you see a stack of DVDs, you might find games in there. So so I found this one in there, and I have the other 2. It was a trilogy set for the PS2, and it's Mortal Kombat Armageddon. And this is part of the set version, which is exactly what I needed. So I now have the 3-part set for my collection, which is really cool, and it is complete, and it's like brand new. So I was really excited to find that. I think my brother actually found it, which is really cool. He likes helping me out a lot, so that's cool. So that's it for the flea market. Now I will show you the stuff from the pawn shop called King's Pawn, and this is really cool here. All right, the first one here is Rocky. And these games are all complete, and they have all been resurfaced, which is really cool. And they were all $2 each. Oh, and the Mortal Kombat game was $2 as well, I believe. So, $2 PS2 games here. Next one here is Lego Star Wars, a video game. Next one is Family Guy, video game. This is funny. I love the show, so I had to pick up the game. Next one is, this one's cool, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. And I love the style of the artwork here. It's got that like shiny effect to it, which is really cool. The Sopranos, Road to Respect. I already had this game, but it was not complete, so now I do have a complete copy, and this one is in much better condition, so I'll be getting rid of the other one that I have. So really cool to find that. Next is Flat Out 2. I have the first one, now I have the second one, so I have both of them on PS2 now, so that's really cool. Next is Tekken 4. And this is a part of a set copy, and that also goes for the Tekken Tag Tournament, which is also part of a set. And I believe there was a 3-game trilogy set here, and once again I only got 2 of the 3, so I'll have to find the third one somewhere sometime. But that, sometimes it'll just happen out of pure random, or I'll just go out looking for it, or who knows, it'll eventually show up, I'm sure. Alright, next game stack here. This is the last part here. I believe there was, I don't even know how many there was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, there's 16 of them. Cool. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, so I had to count them really quick. Armored Core 2 is the next game here, which is really cool. Some of these games I had to switch out the cases because the cases were just really bad, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Next game here is Soul Calibur 2. It's also a part of a set copy of this game, so once again I'll have to find the part of the set copies of those other games that went with the trilogy set. Next game here is Mafia. Wrath Unleashed. Armored Core 2, Another Age, which is basically like a re-release, kind of, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of like 2.0 and 2.1, basically, is what it seems like to me. So that's cool. Next is Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. I already have this one, but I saw this and I saw it was in much better condition, so I'm going to be selling mine. Just because mine has a really bad cover art insert and everything, so that one's going to be replacing it. And the last one here is Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. So that is pretty cool. And it's a not for individual sale copy, so if I ever find one that's, you know, just the basic one, then that'll be a variant, so that's cool. Alright, now here was the deal breaker of the day. Actually, probably of the year. And on the way home, me and my brother, we saw this garage sale sign that I've seen it many times. It's just like 3 or 4 blocks from my house. So I mean, these people did this garage sale like every other weekend basically because they had so much stuff. And they, for some reason, I had never stopped there before, but I decided to stop there just because I hadn't been there yet. So I was like, okay, let's try it. And they actually had it in their house instead of outside, just because it was a kind of a colder day. So they had it in their living room. And when me and my brother walked in, we were looking around and we noticed some like toys and stuff right away. So that's one thing to look out for when you're going game hunting, is if you go to a garage sale and you see like kids stuff out, like old toys and stuff, then chances are they might have video games in there as well. So this is what I did. I noticed some toys, so I kept looking down their tables and stuff, and I saw that they had some old like video game controllers, like they had like some old Atari like plug-in TV controllers. They had a FC Twin controllers in there, and I was like, I asked them if they had any video games, and they said we might have some. And they pointed to a table that had a bunch of like CDs and stuff stacked in there, and so I decided to take a look. And the first one here is my brother saw it and he pointed it out to me, so I decided to pick it up. And the best part of this was these were 50 cents each. And that already was shocking to me when I heard them say that. And so I only spent like $1 here at this garage sale because there's 2 items here. They're both discs, but what's really cool is that I've never seen these before. So the first one here is Nintendo GameCube preview DVD. It basically just shows you all the trailers for the games that were coming out for the GameCube, like Mario Party 4, Super Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, all those good games. And all of them are on here. See, this was basically pretty much before internet was like really popular, I guess. So they released a DVD for it. I mean, you won't see that now, of course, but I mean, for this DVD, it's really cool. I mean, unfortunately, it's missing the original case, but I mean, it's still the disc, and it works really well. It was actually pretty entertaining going through all the previews and stuff for the games that were going to come out. So that was really cool. These normally are like $10 complete, so, and I paid 50 cents, so, I mean, really cool. Alright, this last one here. I had no idea what I was getting into when I found this. I noticed that it was just video game related and everything, just, since it's video game related and it was 50 cents, and I was like, okay, might as well. And for those of you who know, you'll probably guess right away, and you'll already know right away what it is worth. But if you don't, I will tell you here in a second. But what I have here is the Midway's Mortal Kombat 2 music from the arcade game soundtrack. And it is complete. Just one little scratch on the front. And the disc had one fingerprint on it, and that's it. And I cleaned it off, and it basically looks brand new. And for those of you who do not know about this, I didn't know myself personally. But I looked it up when I got home, and it was a shock to me when I found out how much this thing is worth. Okay, apparently when this game was in the arcade, when it was first released arcade, it was this CD was a promotional item that was only given out as a demo, like a demo promo item that was given out to only several hundred people, I believe, or something like that for the promotion of the game when it first came out. And when I found it, I didn't know it was worth so much. But for 50 cents, I believe is a really good deal, just because it's a CD and it's related to Mortal Kombat, video games, all that. So I decided to buy it. But when I came home, there are none on eBay. There has never been any sold on eBay. And the only place I could possibly find it was Amazon. And there was only 3 listed on Amazon. One was used, and there was 2 new ones. The one that was used was from a personal collection from a gamer. And he was asking $125. And the 2 brand new ones that were sealed were coming from really well-known games sites, I think. And they were asking $300 a piece. And it just blew my mind to find that this CD is worth so much money. And to pay 50 cents, I think that is probably the cheapest anyone has ever paid for one. I had never knew this thing existed, and I never knew that it would ever be worth so much money. So I am really happy to add this to my collection. Really cool to find it in a garage sale, basically in my own backyard. I mean, I had seen this garage sale so many times, and I don't know why, but I decided to finally stop at it, and I'm glad I did, because if I wouldn't have, I wouldn't be holding this right now. So I was really happy to find that when I went there. So that is it for that box. Now, I have some stuff to show you that I got just last weekend. And there's quite a bit of stuff here, so I'll go through it little by little here. First thing here is a orange Nintendo Zapper. And this was about $6.50, I believe. I usually pay no more than that, $6 or $7, because these are like $12 anyway. So the more I get, the more better. Same thing with the controllers and all that. So really cool. I always get them and they always work. So I mean, I always take my chances on them, just because I haven't found a broken one yet. So that's really cool. And this was from my local flea market that I usually always go to. So that was the first item I got. The next one here is a clear see-through PS1 controller, which is really cool. There's only one little nick in the cord that's pretty... It's kind of, bad to see, like to look at with the eye, but other than that, I mean, it works perfectly fine. So, and this was like $3, I think, so not too bad at all. Alright, and then the other 2 items I got from there, these are just common games, but for the N64, I got NFL Quarterback Club 2001. And I didn't have this one yet, so I decided to pick it up. So nothing too spectacular. And the other one here is Super Spike V-Ball, just the basic standalone cart. And this was like $1.50 or something like that, so that was really cool. So just a quick little trip I made to the flea market, which is cool. Alright, now a couple weeks ago, I got this off of eBay. I saw it, and there was a best offer option with this listing. And I asked them if they would do $30, and it was like $7 shipping, I believe. So it came out to be like $37 total. And they sat on it for about a day, and then they finally accepted it. So I put in my buy it now price, and I bought it. So I don't know if I can show them all or not, but what I have here are 3, 4, and 5. I have 5 more Nintendo NES controllers, and yes, they all work. The main reason I collect these is because eventually, when I get consoles and they don't have controllers, I'll just pull out the worst looking controllers in my collection and I'll sell them off with the console. But I always try to get more of these just in case of those reasons. But, so 5 more here, and they all work great, which is really cool. I was glad to get these, but there's also a few more items that came with this deal. It also came with 2 more Nintendo Zappers. You got an orange one here and a gray one. And they both work just fine. Like I said before, I haven't had issues with any of these yet, so I just keep taking my chances on, which is really good. I mean, they're not breaking on me, so that's cool. So 2 more here. That's cool. And the last Nintendo brand item here is a Super Nintendo AV cable, or N64, GameCube, whichever you prefer, but it works for all 3. So, really cool. It's official Nintendo brand, so that's cool. I always need extras of those. And last but not least here, I got 3 generic items here. I got 2 NES generic controllers and Duck Hunt gun here, the Zapper gun. And for some reason, I cannot plug them into my NES. I tried the top loader, and I tried a regular front loader and everything else, and they just didn't seem to fit into the slots. So it leads me to believe that these go for like an aftermarket system only. So I have no way of testing them, but they have the original wrapping over the cords and everything, so I'm pretty sure they're just brand new, and they probably just work for an aftermarket console. So I'm not 100% sure if they work or not, but I'm pretty sure they would. So after all said and done here, that was $37. Which is really cool. That bring out to be like $3.48 or something a piece, whatever it is. But really, really cheap, really cool. I was really glad to get all these. So that was cool to find on eBay. It came from a pawn shop in Ohio, I think, or something like that. And so that was pretty much just going to pawn shops, but on eBay. So that was pretty cool. All right, next here, really quick. I just did this just last weekend, and this was my last stop of the day. It was actually across the street from one of my buddy's house. He didn't tell me about it or anything. I was just driving by and I happened to see it, so I decided to stop. And what I got here is a Nintendo 64 Atomic Purple controller here. Came with the memory card. It's a Memory Plus, Memory Card Plus. It's a generic memory card, but there's the controller. The joystick is really loose. So I mainly got this in the intentions of reselling or putting with a console or whatever. So that's why I got that one. But it also when I was there, see, I noticed these because I saw toys and stuff laying out in the front yard, so I decided to take a stop and take a look. And to my surprise, well, not really a surprise, but I found more games and stuff. 2 Nintendo 64 games here. The first one here is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. And unfortunately, it has this really annoying Blockbuster sticker on it, and the back label is ripped to beyond belief, and it's really upsetting because I mean it's harder to find a back that's the black color, so I can't really switch it out without finding another black game. So until then, I'll just have to hang on to it or find another copy of it. But for now, it's okay, and it works just fine. So that's cool. The other one here is Rugrats in Paris the movie. So, nothing too spectacular, but yet again, nothing I have, so really cool. And this last thing here, these go for like $13, I believe, and that is an original Nintendo Power Brick. And it's the official Nintendo brand one and everything, so really cool, and it works just fine. I plugged all this stuff in, and it all works fine. The total I paid, and I was kind of running out of money too, so, but the total I paid for all that stuff was $5, which is really cool. I asked the guy if he had any consoles or anything, but he said someone else earlier that morning had already gotten the consoles. I don't know if they had an N64 or a Nintendo or whatever. They probably had all of it, but I was too late, unfortunately. But I still got a few good items from it, so I was really happy still. So that was really cool. Alright, got this from eBay about a week and a half ago. And I will just tell you the total I paid right now, just so, they're all sports games, but they're really good sports games for the most part. So I paid a total of $21.55 or something like that, I think, after shipping. I paid more for the shipping than the items themselves, but hey, whatever. But there's, I think there's 22 PS2 games here, and they're all sports games, like I said, but a lot of them are really good, so I'll start off with them. Some of them I already have, but I will be replacing mine just because of how good these ones are. But the first one here is Madden 2001. And these are all complete games. Next one here is Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. A lot of these games are like brand new, like they've been played maybe a couple times and that's it. Next here is NHL 2001. NASCAR 2001. NBA Live 2002. Yeah, 2002. NBA Live 2004, which is one I already have, but this will be a replace for mine because mine's in pretty rough condition, but this one's a lot better, so that's cool. Next is NBA Live 2003, and this is actually a variant because it comes with a bonus feature disc of the. It's a soundtrack of all the songs on the game, so really cool. I wasn't expecting that at all. So yeah, there's a double disc variant for this game, so I'll have to find the regular copy now. But that's really cool. Didn't know they released it, so that's cool. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I happen to have 3, so now I have 4, so that's cool. Next is SSX on Tour. And it's like brand new. A lot of these games, I believe, were only maybe played once or twice. Next here is Madden 2006. And I actually don't think I have this one. I don't own this one, so that's not a replacement. That's one I don't have. Alright, here is one that I've been wanting to replace for quite a while. Mine's incomplete, but now I have a complete copy, and that is NHL Hits 2003. So now I have NHL Hits 2002 and 2003 complete, so that's cool. Alright, sorry about that cutoff, guys. My battery died on my camera, so I had to let it charge for a little bit. But next game here that I was talking about here is NHL Hits Pro. And this one's probably more recognizable than 2002 and 2003. So now I have 2002, 2003, and NHL Hits Pro, which is really cool. That's a good addition to the game collection. Those two games, NHL Hits 2003 and NHL Hits Pro, those were probably the two main games why I wanted this stack of games, besides one that I'll show you here in a minute. But next one here is MLB Slugfest 2003, which is pretty cool. I don't have too many baseball games, so that's cool. This one also was a reason why I wanted this stack of games, and it is SSX Tricky for the PS2. I mean, the GameCube version is more rare, but I have that one as well, but it's not complete. But this one is complete, so I don't have to worry about, for both consoles. So that's a good thing. Next one here is SSX 3, which is cool. And then here's a game that I already own, but this will be a replacement for it because mine is really rough, and this one's basically brand new. And this one is Sledstorm. So that's cool. I'll be replacing my copy, which is awesome. This next one here is Madden 2003, and I do not own this one. Next is NFL Blitz 2002. Next is Madden 2004, and I don't have this one either, so that's another one going into the collection. Next is NHL Hits 2002, or not Hits, excuse me, it's just NHL 2002. Next is Madden 2005, which is the one of them that I already have, but this one's in much nicer condition, so I'll be keeping this one and selling mine. So this whole stack of games is pretty much just a benefit to me all around. And the last one here is Triple Play Baseball. Some of these games came in generic cases, so I ended up switching them into Sony brand ones, just because I like my games to be, basically, the way they were when they were released. So I ended up doing that for a few of those. I don't remember which ones exactly, but some of them, there was like 5 or 6 of them I had to do that for. But one quick thing I have to show you guys really quick. I got this on eBay a couple weeks back, and it was a 99-cent starting auction, and it was like $3.80 for shipping. So this was close to almost $5. But I have it wrapped up here to keep it separate from the others. But it's another Nintendo NES controller here, and it is pretty yellowed, which is unfortunate. But for some reason, I can't get the B button to work very well. And I think it's probably just because it's fried in that area of the circuit board in the controller. But for the most part, it works pretty well. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, just because it doesn't. Technically it doesn't fully work, but it's still manageable to play with. So I'll end up probably putting it as a second controller with a console or something. I'm not sure yet, but it was cheap enough to where I'm not going to really worry about it. So that's cool. I might as well just wrap it back up so I can keep it separate so I know which one's the one that has the bad B button. Alright, next here I have, getting down to the bottom here, we're almost out of stuff. Alright, I just got this a couple days ago actually, finally received it. I got it last weekend. I bought it off of eBay, and the reason I got it because of how nice it is. And it doesn't have any controllers. It is a console. And what I have here is a original first model Super Nintendo. And what I mean by clean is, I mean there is no yellowing, and there's no chips in it. There was a few little dirty marks on it, but I ended up cleaning it off, which is really cool. Everything seems to be basically brand new to me. The back power plug-in port's not missing the little rubber piece like a lot of them are. And I don't see any physical flaws with this console whatsoever. And I got it mainly because I do have a console in my collection that has the bottom half all yellow. I mean, the console itself is really nice, except for the bottom half is yellowed. So I ended up getting this one just to replace that, and I can sell the one with the bottom yellow. So I am going to be keeping this one and selling off mine. The one I have, I actually got at Mile High Flea Market, which is down in Denver. I got it last summer for $20. So nothing too bad. But this was $38, and it came with not just the unit, but it came with the official RF cable here, and the official Nintendo power brick here for the Super Nintendo, of course. So it has both cables, just no controllers, unfortunately, but I have plenty of those anyway, so it's not too big a deal. And the last part here, which is pretty cool as a bonus, I thought when I saw the auction, was it came with Mortal Kombat 3. And it's in pretty good shape. There was some writing on it, like someone had taken a red marker and just did that across the cracks in the game, which was a little annoying, but I ended up cleaning it off, so it's not too big a deal. But yeah, $38 for the console, both cords in the game. I think that's well worth it, so especially for the condition and everything, so that was really cool. Alright, now we're down here to the last item, and I got this last Saturday off of Craigslist. And this was a really good deal. I saw it when I was in school. I know, I was on my phone during class, kind of, like, it was during free time or whatever, so I was sitting there playing on Craigslist, and I found this, and I happened to text the guy during class, and I asked him if he would take a certain price, because he had stuff that I already had, and I didn't really want to buy that as well, because I already had it, and I'd save myself money and everything anyway. But he offered to do $95 for this whole setup, and I asked him, well, I only have about $80, which was true at the time, because I had some money in my wallet, and some I pulled out of my bank and everything, but I had $80, and he said, I'll tell you what, I'll do $80 if you will trade the rest of the $15 for a Nintendo 64 controller. So I found one in my collection that was, not very, useful to me anymore, it was just a Atomic Purple one, but the joystick was pretty loose, and he said that would be fine. He doesn't really care, because he's going to use it anyway, so, I mean, it was still fully functional and everything, so that was good. But I ended up trading that controller for the extra $15. And in return, I got the console for basically $80, because I only paid like $3 for that controller anyway, so it was like $83 if you want to think of it that way. But it is another Super Nintendo, and it came with 6 games, a controller, and both cables. Well, actually 2 sets of cables. It came with a power cord, the RF switch, and the AV cable, so that was really cool. Alright, first things first here. I'm going to show you the unit, and then I'll get down to the games, because the games are well worth it. And, I mean, they are well worth it, especially since they're harder to find, and I don't have either, or any of the 6 games, so that is really cool. But first thing here is I'm gonna get the cords and stuff out of here. He gave it to me in this like plastic drawer, so it's kind of, you know, convenient. So here's the unit. It is fairly yellowed, unfortunately, but I will be selling it, of course, just to make some money back and essentially get the games for, you know, a lot cheaper. But it does have cracks in it, and it's chipped in the back and all that. And the power plug rubber piece is missing, which is common. But it still plugs in fine, works and everything, so that's a really good benefit to me. But so here's the unit. Next is the I'll show you these cords. I have a Super Nintendo. Well, of course, it's the power cable here. Works great, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's the power cable, and then it came with the official AV cable here, and also an RF switch. And then in here as well is one official Super Nintendo controller. And it is a little worn. I mean, it has like some dog teeth marks on it and everything. But it will be going with the system, and it works perfectly fine, so. All for just a, I mean, nothing wrong with it, like, you know, internally, but just physically it has a few little nicks and stuff there, here and there, but nothing too major. But, here are the games, and these games are pretty awesome. I've been looking for a couple of these for quite a while, and I'm glad that they were in this deal because I was really happy to find them. I'll just start off right off the bat here. One that I've been looking for a while is, and this is Doom, and one of the only red cartridges on Super Nintendo, which is pretty cool. But I've been looking for this game for quite a while, and I was really glad to find it, so that's cool. So there's Doom. Next, I have Street Fighter 2, which is cool. And all 6 of these games I do not have, so they're all going into the collection. Next here is Super Star Wars. Next is Bust-A-Move, which is from the creators of Bubble Bobble, I believe. Tato, yeah, I think that's Bubble Bobble. They have the characters in it, so pretty cool. Pretty fun game, actually, too. Alright, second to last here, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. In really nice shape. I switched the back because the back end was really yellowed, so I decided to just switch it and make it look nicer. And the last game here, the one that is probably the best game out of the whole stack, and it's probably worth the most, is I have Super Bomberman. And this game is really fun as well. I love this game. This is really cool. But just remember now, I paid $80 for these 6 games, the console, and all the cords and the controller. So I'll be selling the console and everything, you know, all the cords and everything. So I'll be getting these games for really cheap. I calculated it, and these games, all 6 of these games are roughly worth $100 just for those 6 games. So $80 with a console thrown in and everything is amazing. So that is it. There's one more thing I want to show you guys. And it has to do with the first part that I showed you with the Game Boy Advance and everything. That when I went to Goodwill, this was on the same day. It was at a garage sale, and I happened to just stop by and see it. So I can't really show it to you, you know, right now. I'll have to, you know, pan away for a minute. So please excuse this interruption as I switch over to the next part. All right, guys. Well, here real quick, I wanted to show you is a it's a DVD rack here I got, and this was at a garage sale, and it was $3. And let me tell you though, it was a pain in the butt putting it back together because you have to put all these poles back in the correct slots and everything else. It was really painful to have to sit through that and do that again, but I wouldn't want to do it again. But anyways, it houses all my PS1 and most of my PS2 games. And right next to it I have the my other one that I've already had. and it's pretty empty now, as you can see, because I have a lot more room now. So I knew I needed this DVD rack because at one point all these games that you see here were stacked on the floor, which is very, very, you know, it's kind of a sore to the eye because I didn't really like seeing it when I walked into my room. It looked, you know, cluttery. So I wanted to display them better, so I found this DVD rack, and I was really happy to find it. So yeah, $3, and it was a really good deal, and it holds all the games perfectly fine. So this is it for the video, so I'll pan back now to the final part of my main video. Alright guys, thank you for viewing my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a long one again. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it to be this long, but it's pretty much just me rambling on about stuff, and I do apologize for that, but it is fun talking about this stuff, and it's really fun. Thanks again for watching. See you guys next time, and good luck gaming. Have fun, guys. See you later.